Hey Cancer, this is your 2023 Astro Wheel. Welcome to She Who's Standing on the Moon Tarot. Getting your incense going here. It's rose today because it's the heart chakra. So I thought that would be something that would be kind of relative to your sign. Get that going. There we go. All right. Now I've already pre-shuffled, laid out the cards, and started looking at them, the first sets anyway. All right, so let's get into your overall theme, which is going to be represented by the animal totem cards I'm using here. I believe it's the Bestiary Animal Oracle set, and the Pure Magic Oracle by Andres Gracia. Here we're looking at some kind of information, some kind of learning, some kind of wisdom that you are going to be coming into in 2023. It has to do with pinpointing something or getting really focused on your intent, not being distracted by what's going on around you. And other people might be going in a different direction than you, that you're accustomed to knowing, or there will be people coming and going in your life this year more than maybe that you're used to, but they'll be coming in and out while you're trying to figure out something, or you're learning something, or you have an intent to learn something. There's also there's learning about a specific location or a geographical location, even trying to pinpoint where you're being directed, and you're learning about this through books or some kind of reading material. You're using your eyes and your mind to take this in. You might also just be developing a more keen sense of your awareness, and you will be trying to focus on a project or some purpose that you have, or skill or talent that you have, and trying to find your direction of where to go in order to get you where you need to be able to do this the most successfully. So let's get on with your first house here, in your seventh house. You yourself are going to be very secretive and private this year. Now, Cancer's kind of private anyway, but I think that you'll be exceptionally, more to yourself this year. You will probably be either learning from an organized educational system of some kind, so school, college, whatever fits there. This is also secrets. So you could have some secrets that you're keeping this year close to your chest, that you yourself are involved in, or you yourself have a secret. Other than being a very private person that potentially has some things that you are kind of clandestine, keeping to yourself, you're seemingly protecting your heart. It's like you're thinking about protecting yourself. So very, very much your kind of reading that's coming through so far. It's as if, this secret is a near and dear to you. It could be somebody else's secret, but you're just holding on to it for them. Or it could be that you have something very personal about yourself and you're protecting your heart and making sure that, it stays, where you want it to stay. Also, your intuition could be involved somehow with your physical body. So you could be learning how to activate your pineal gland, example. You could be learning some kind of metaphysical information from a text of some kind. There is something kind of secretive, a secret knowledge and wisdom that you will be getting into this year. it could be a diary as well, because the Two of Swords is all the swords cards. I think of, intellect and writing, and any kind of a holding dear to your secrets almost, and your prized personal feelings as well. Um, but there's some sort of risk involved. There's some sort of adventure that's coming in for you. So you might be feeling like taking more risks, or you yourself will be taking risks in 2023 because this is in your first house. And there's a sort of passion and drive to achieve and manifest things in your reality, and to gain control of your passions and creativity, and um, what you're very inspired, and you're looking to maybe establish more than you already have in your life. You're physically going to be itching to kind of do things and go places, and um, maybe you're going to see where your passions lead you to be able to transcend this. Neptune is here in the first house. There could be some elusive kind of troubles with the health, not necessarily that are super scary or anything. I just feel like when Neptune's around, things kind of dissolve and are elusive, and just like like vapor. It's like, try to catch vapor in a jar. Put your finger. You're trying to detect something and pinpoint it this year. And I think you'll be trying to do that with your own body and find out what's going on with your own body, or maybe checking in with your body more. You'll be more aware of your body, but you might not know where something is coming from. And maybe that's a good thing, that you'll be checking in more. Excuse me. There seems to be some sort of, also, you'll be hard to get your hands on. You might seem like invisible to other people. It might be hard to like find you. You might be getting off social media, because I have Uranus opposite, and Uranus rules, all technology and science, and the modern, like, rebellious, innovative things that we have in the world now, with the discovery of Uranus. And Neptune is like that Enlightenment age, that, it reminds me of that Victorian era, like metaphysical renaissance almost, or spiritual paranormal renaissance. So you might be physically like hard to pin down this year. And you're not going to want to sit still. People are going to be looking for you. They're not going to be able to find you. You're going to be very secretive. You'll be having, I don't know, it's out of sight, out of mind kind of mentality. Like, if it's not right in front of me, I don't remember it. Don't deal with it. Something along those lines. You might be focused on learning, though, and that's probably why you're going to be doing this, or learning about what you're interested in. You might be some of you might be taking risks that you're keeping secret, in order to kind of, the King of Wands is kind of that guy he's passionate about what he wants, but he's learned the lessons in getting his passions to manifest. He's not too hasty. However, he's a go-getter, so you might be chasing some kind of dragon almost. I don't want to make it seem like it's drug related, but some of you could be dealing with some addictive things in your life, because Neptune's there, and the King of Wands. He's little, not chameleon, salamander. His little dragon there. Salamander represents fire. Just something about that is chasing the dragon. maybe you had an experience, and it doesn't have to be a substance related, and you are trying to recreate that experience um, in your own way for yourself. Maybe you're learning how to do something and you're trying to recreate that in your own life, and from your own, maybe for your own body or your own mind, or there's something there. And opposite, in the seventh house, I have a visitor or a message that comes from an advisor of some kind. And there's some worry there. There's stress keeping someone up at night. Um, this could be you, or this could be your partner. I tend to think it's a legal matter because it's in the house of Libra, right? The seventh house. Male is often associated with the writer, and I see this King of Swords as like a lawyer, a judge, somebody who's gained the wisdom, been there, done that, and is kind of the one that decides, you know? Especially because the Hierophant is really close by. And you're kind of sandwiched in here with the Nine of Swords. Also, Uranus is here. So things aren't, I think you're stressing over things not being solid in regards to this matter with a partnership of some kind. That things are kind of wishy-washy because of Neptune opposite Uranus. Like you just don't know. It's like a rain, a storm on the water. You don't know what to expect. I mean, it can go one way, it can go another way. And here I see a storm in the background where the woodpecker is. And I, for the first time ever looking at this card, and I've looked at it a handful of times by now, I've never seen that there was lightning in the background. It just never really came to my attention. So I don't know if this is kind of you bracing yourself for a storm, or this is you kind of not knowing what to expect with a situation that might be a little bit high tension with a partnership. Now, this could also be somebody wanting to get married and you feeling like you're trying to evade that you're not ready to, you're hard to pin down, you're kind of, you're not feeling like this is the time, or that you want to focus your attention on other things, and that person is maybe getting more serious about thinking more seriously about the situation, and it's kind of stressing you, or this person might be stressed out because of their desire to kind of get you on the same page as them. And it seems like you're at the will or the whim of tradition, or you're at the feet. I see her as like almost begging the Hierophant to reconsider. Being very worried about how things might turn out, and things they haven't even manifested yet, but they're stressing over something. Okay, Uranus being there, it will be very hard to get some solid answers. Even if you did do your research, if you did dig down deep into the situation, it's going to be hard to like pin somebody down, make something concrete in whatever situation this is. However, Uranus and Neptune is kind of like a sudden, very amazing, almost terrifying at times, spiritual revelation, or paranormal experience even falls under this. UFOs fall under this. And it just, something out of this world kind of seems to be coming into play in your partnership sector. You might have a very spiritual encounter that leads you and a partner to, or maybe you encounter somebody and it's almost like a spiritual phenomenon that that you seem so connected, and um, or something freaky happens and you just are both like, what? Um, that it could be that too. I'm not sure what it is. A message that is being looked over by a professional about some sort of troubles or anxiety. So this could be a therapist as well, because the Nine of Swords talks about mental anguish and anxiety. So your partner could be going through some things at this time and seeing somebody who's trying to make sure that um, they're getting the help that they need. Visiting somebody who might be stressing out um, about something to do with court, or this doesn't necessarily have to be you. It is in your partnership house. So it could be love. It could be business. There could be an audit as well that stresses you, a business partner out in business, and it seems like things are up in the air from that. So it could have very little to do with you, but it's just showing up here as something to think about. All right, second house, South Node, the Death card, the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Key. All right, in the 8th house, Venus, the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Moon card. All right. Give me 1 second. Now, this can be talking about investments versus savings. This can be talking about something financial. It can be talking about anything you value, your values in life, your beliefs. So bear with me for a second. Venus in the 8th, that's a very interesting combo. It's the value card, really. And it is valuing the darker aspects of one's own psyche, one's own kind of almost macabre art would be something that I would say that Venus in the 8th house is. It's taking something darker and making it some kind of art form, beauty, darker aspects of beauty, gothic makeups, gothic style. There's this kind of very interesting component there in your 8th house. I also have the moon, which is also kind of a spooky card to get in the 8th house, because it talks about nighttime and the mysteries and conspiracies and paranormal and psychic abilities. And then we have 2 aces in a row, and it's clear thought and clear intention, clear inspiration, the beginning of a spark of nuance in your life, excitement. So there is some sort of big new beginning that's happening in your 8th house, and there's going to be a lot of communication going back and forth. And it could be very exciting news. So there's something here when it comes to starting some type of communication. Um, it could, because Venus is there, it could very well have to do with money, because the eighth house rules investments and trading and debts and taxes and all that stuff. It could be a mystery, in some regard. Now, over in your second opposite, I have the key, which is a great card in the Lenormand. It gives you the answer you've been looking for. So maybe if you have any questions, I would say look at what you value, what's important to you. It seems like you've been through something and you feel kind of like beat down by it, but you're still holding on. Like it's been a long road. And it seems like now, after a certain amount of time, now I'm seeing this as maybe a almost a divorce situation with what I had here with the legal stuff. Um, the answer is, you've been kind of having a rough time. It's been a long haul. You're holding on to what you have. You don't want to let go of what you have. You're afraid of losing it almost. You're being stubborn about how you hold on to your resources and your finances. And there's a great change. And the death card is not like a little change, it's a big transformation that will happen in what you value. So maybe you've been holding on to certain beliefs or mindsets, and you've been kind of really having a hard time letting go of this. Like you fought a long time to keep these principles or these morals or these values. And now there is the great death of them. And so you're asked to remember your past with the South Node, but at the same time, you're asked to the South Node is what we're supposed to let go of, right? It's not our North Star anymore. It's what we came into and then we were supposed to kind of evolve out of. And so that's where the answer is for you. You need to evolve your belief system and what you value. And that will be different for all of you. Individually, you might all have a different scenario that fits into this kind of general vibrations that I'm picking up here. But the key is the answer, or the thing that unlocks the doors. Any kind of blocks that you've had. It could be a belief system that's holding you back from attaining, really going forward in your life. I did skip Brigitte. And this is a very psychic card. She was a witch and is a folkloric Celtic goddess. Okay? And it says sacred milk on it. And it's such a Cancer thing, right? And the sacred milk is Mother Earth's nourishment, right? The nourishment from the universe that we get. And this house is also about what we consume. Your sign is about the nourishment we get from our childhood, our mother, our ancestral line, all of those things. So there is some sort of thing that you need to get into a new perspective on, I think. It could have to do with literally the food that you're putting in your body. It could have to do with how you deal with being exhausted or stressed, with money issues. It could be a bunch of things. But this year you'll be learning the answer, the key to that. And you'll be successful, because that is, the key is a very good sign. It's a good omen. All right, so the moon card in the eighth opposite. It's actually admonition and admiration from others. People are seeing you shine. You might be glowing in a certain aspect of the eighth house, which is, of course, the taboo, anything to do with the occult, anything to do with, if you work at night as well, People might be noticing you a lot out in the spotlight. The moon is the spotlight, basically. And it gives a nice glow to you. It softens everything. And there's like this new beginning that other people are noticing, because it's in the eighth house and we're going towards other people, right? Um, you also might be sharing yourself or your talents with other people, and maybe that's the key, right? The key to, changing your values and beliefs about yourself. And maybe you had a rough time and somebody had kind of hurt you or insulted you in the past about something that you were good at. Maybe that's why you're keeping things to yourself this year. But this is just how you are coming in, Doesn't necessarily mean that's where you need to be at the end of the year. So during this year, you will be learning to let go of that old dogma, those old wounds, and kind of letting go and changing in order to move forward out of the past and into the future, where it seems you're going to be sharing some kind of talent or skill with the world that is going to involve some kind of talent, beauty, money. There will be maybe all of those things involved with it, but you'll be communicating about that at some point. There'll be some sort of back and forth. People will really like what you're putting out there, whether, even if it's just like people looking at your credit and seeing that you have really good credit, and you might be able to get a loan for a house, or people scouting you for a talent that you have. This could have to do with anything, from anything in the eighth house, anything with writing, anything with any kind of physical movements of the body. So it could have to do with dancing as well. You might also be spending a lot more time up at night, valuing being awake at night for some reason. I think that the answer is the nighttime for you. You might be writing your novel at night, and being up much later next year. You might be involved with some sort of letting go of an old lover. Maybe that's what it is. There's some sort of belief system in love, or belief system in remembering the past and letting go of old wounds, that's going to allow you to free up your money as well, and help you make maybe better financial decisions, or take better risks for yourself, or take a risk and change your life. Sometimes we can stay stagnant in the same spot for a long time, and we're afraid of taking that risk, but the risk is the only thing that's going to get us out of that spot. And it's always a gamble, we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, or what anything is going to bring, but it seems like the energy will change up for you in that regard, and that will actually help things along and help people see you in a better light, and see your talents, or just notice you, because you've been kind of quiet to yourself and invisible. You're coming in invisible, and now other people are seeing you, and it's a new beginning. It's very new to you, and there's lots of communication about you. People are excited about you, something that you're doing, something that you're sharing with the world. Could have to do with a lot of things. This is also what you're consuming. The South Node is what you're supposed to be letting go of or releasing. So you got consumption in a house that's, or whole, like the past in a house of, the beliefs. So you're really letting go of that. What you're consuming and taking in, you got to let go of, right? That's just that's the nature of life. We can't hold on to everything all the time. Otherwise we, would have some problems. So, this is what I'm getting for this. Let's go to the third house. Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. Very nice. Ace of Cups, the Page of Swords, And the twee. I love it. Oh. Okay. Now let's grab the 9th. Pluto. The Judgment. Crazy how these energies are matching up with each other. It's like everybody's in alignment lately. The 2 of Wands. The Emperor. And the Bouquet. Another card. The Bouquet is another card of talent, another card of admonition and being admired and gifted. Gifted something. Very interesting. Okay, 3rd house. This is how you think. You'll be thinking in terms of growing. You'll be trying to think about your health as well. This is going to be a couple mental focuses for you. And now we have another ace too. So you've got them all, I think. So many cards on the table. Your ideas, your siblings, cousins, something to do with the family. So you might be communicating a lot with your family or with your tribe. And it seems like this will be about some younger person in your family, a news regarding them. And it seems like there's a gift or a blessing that comes in, something new, a positive change that comes in and expands your world. This has to do with learning or teaching. So some of you could be teachers. Somebody in your family could be becoming a teacher or starting to teach. And it's a positive change for the better in their career and their direction. You could hear about a sibling or a cousin having a baby. I don't see too many cards specifying that, but I do have some kind of feeling about the tree growing and the Ace of Cups together. I feel like that's, the beginning of a family or a blessing of a baby in a family. And the Page is a younger, they don't have like a baby card except for like the sun, but the Page is a younger person. So this could be, speaking of this, and this is the Wheel of Fortune is like maybe they've tried for a long time and they haven't been able to conceive, but now there's a lucky break coming in. It's divine timing. It's expanding as well. So I'm seeing, her belly here, and then this round wheel, and then the Jupiter obviously he's kind of like the beach ball planet. Yeah, so that could be exciting. I'm also getting Little Mermaid vibes. I don't know. I'm a big fan of The Little Mermaid. Have been since it first came out and 100 years ago. With Sebastian and Ariel here, for some reason that does it for me. Anyway, so there is some sort of benefit to the health from traveling. There's some sort of growth and potential of a talent that, and it could have to do with learning or higher education or traveling abroad to learn something. It could be a language, because I have communication here, a card of communication or learning some kind of form of communication, and I have it opposite a talent and a the Emperor is like, he's the guy in charge, right? He's the one that knows the land. He's been around and he calls the shots and he's the starter of things. So this is somebody who's got something under their belt, right? He's also crowned with the laurel wreath, so he is royalty, you know, and it's also like he knows how to manifest what he wants, right? And he can tell, he can see it coming because he's got that ball there that's kind of a crystal ball. He's not afraid to go on his hunches because he knows how to use his intuition. And I feel like there's a looking out at the world with the Two of Wands and a call, another change too. So both cards of Scorpio, the Judgment card is like, you know, life after death, right? It's getting called to the other side on the card, literally. But it's more of after a dull period or a dark night of the soul, we are chosen to step forth and make a change in our life. So this could be a pivotal point for you about making some big change that could just be within yourself. But with Pluto there, it's about power, control dynamics. It's about sex. It's about secret or hidden things. So it's almost a digging up. If you are into any kind of investigatory journalism, archaeology, anything like that, I always see the Judgment card as a literal digging up as well. It's like an unearthing something, right? It's something from our subconscious coming forth, and we're realizing, and we're like, oh my God, I had this, I'm now changed forever by this information. So maybe you're growing and you're learning, and something comes up where you get an opportunity to experience a gift from somebody who's who's established in whatever you're looking to learn, or and they come to show you the ropes and kind of like let you make the decision to get more involved, and you have like a put your feet in the water as well. Kind of, I can try this out, and you're expanding your horizons. It's almost as if your mind is blown open by an experience abroad. You feel like culture shock or something, and it changes you. And it also could be any kind of, because I see maps here. I see maps, locations, specific, like geographical locations, pinpointing. This could also be, there's birds here, so this could be flying. If you are somebody who flies a plane, I'm not sure that's going to resonate with anybody, but that also comes up here. If you were in the military, obviously, and you could have flown planes, you might be going to a place that's foreign that to you, that is a beautiful place. That it would be warm with lots of flowers, but also have a cold. That's weird because Pluto's cold. Pluto is the coldest planet, right? He's so far out there. It's also, I see her as waking up and looking out the window and realizing it's snowing. So that could mean something. Maybe you're moving somewhere. You're taking your day-to-day location of where you are and moving somewhere where the weather is completely different. Or you're traveling somewhere where the weather is completely different, and it will be like a beautiful change for you as well. I know that's kind of like random, but I'm going to keep going. If I come back, I'll let you know more. North Node in the 4th. 8 of Swords. the world, the Fool in the world, the beginning and the end, and positive change. This is about your personal life, your past childhood, your upbringing, your home life. Now, overall, I see that your home life is going to be, there's going to be definitely uphill in the best way progress. Now, this can be like you have been stuck in a situation for a long time, at a place you didn't want to be at for a long time. You've been feeling called to go somewhere else, change your location, find, go with your compass. You finally take a trip, or you might be moving by plane. This is my plane card. And it's a new beginning. It's a risk. He doesn't have much, When you move by plane, you really can't take much with you. It's too expensive, right? I mean, some people do, but it's ridiculous. I've done it a couple times. God bless you. May the universe be with you. Something's ending. So there's a new beginning. There's an ending. It's positive, whether you look at it one way or the other. Maybe this is what's weird for me, though. And maybe you are feeling kind of mentally stuck, like about, maybe you are a little worried, right? Because the Nine of Swords would come next. Now is the time to do this. Maybe for you. Maybe you've been feeling stuck because you've been waiting and waiting and waiting because you haven't wanted to take a risk and let go of a lot of stuff. And now it's time to move house. You might be moving big time, big changes somewhere else. Some of you, and this can also be just promoting new things. Maybe you put something up high, like a fancy canopy in your house. Or, you change the drapes on the, you have tall windows and you change the drapes. There's something that's just, you started, there's an ending to something else. You might have felt like kind of stuck, but it's finally ending because you've found your calling, you found your purpose. It's telling you not to worry. Success, there will be success and benefits from this because it's part of your destiny. The Wheel of Fortune was right next to it, so I don't feel like you should feel stuck about this. This is pretty awesome. Not everybody will be moving, far away, but whatever changes are happening at the home, it's saying that be okay with change, like allow it to happen, and good things will come. So now the 10th. Mars in the 10th house of Capricorn, exaltation. Well, we know something else is going good for you. The Ace of Swords again. The Four of Wands. Right opposite the 4th house. And the clouds. Career. You're driven in career. You might be really, really a go-getter right now in career. That might be like the part of your life that you have the most focus on because you're not really telling people much. It's hard to pin you down because maybe you're working so much as well. Maybe you're able to travel for work. It's like a benefit or a perk. And you finally find your spot. Like you finally find that place that makes you feel like you can call it home. You might be a little bit confused or unable to see how you're going to get to that spot or how you're going to end up relocating there. This is also maybe a city that you'll be moving to. because I see like smog in a building nearby. Um, this is feeling really exhausted from work as well. People are seeing you as probably really confused, but also not confused. What is it? They might see you as stressed. I'll say it's a stress card as well. Stressed about your home life or not being able to be home as much because you're so busy with work. Um, they might be confused about just how you're living like this because you're doing so much work. The Nine of Wands is, that exhaustion card. We had it down here in the second house of finances and values, right? So victory and then energy. There's some sort of victory you have in your 10th house, which is your responsibilities. You achieve something here, and it's not like an easy thing, and it kind of leads you into a whole new cycle of being able to say, okay, I've mastered this part of this, and now I'm ready to, maybe be seen as victorious in this, or somebody who's starting out at the top, um you might be feeling a little bit weary because of how much work this has been put in. This is also a new home, and not being able to see, you're trying to choose maybe a place. The Four of Wands is also anything to do with marriage, anything to do with a celebration. It's setting up a foundation of some kind, so it can be literally like your career is to be a philanthropist, and I do have a lot of Jupiterian energy. I don't know about Aquarius. I haven't seen any Aquarian cards yet, but Uranus is here, so that counts. Um, there's some sort of foundation that is being set, and you're exhausted by it. You might be cleaning this new house that you got after you moved really far away, and you're like, I just moved so far away, and now I'm having to clean up this fixer upper, or this, in order to be able to settle in. um and you're exhausted, but you're still victorious. So this is a good combination of cards. I think that this is literally just talking about like positive progress that happens so fast that like you're almost kicking up dirt. You're blowing off steam from this up. There's an uptick of stuff in the air, an updraft of something in the air. So this is also like I said, like it's not being clear about something. So you might not be totally clear about what you're celebrating at this time in this house, but you're feeling victorious regardless because you've made the extra step. You might not you might be looking for a house and you just can't find one yet. So you're staying with a friend, potentially, or you know you're just staying at the hotel. This can literally be just a building, and this is like, clouds move, so it's constant moving from place to place. That's, you've got a structure over your head, but you want to kind of settle down and not be traveling all the time, maybe. So, very interesting. Victorious regardless, and it's Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so this is like the best it can be. Like, even with being unclear, maybe being a little stressed out, there's so much to celebrate here. You'll be exhausted, but it'll be so good. So this is major achievements in career, and I love it. Okay. We'll go backwards this time. Mercury in Aquarius in the 11th house. Okay, the Hanged Man, the Seven of Cups, the Death card, and the Lady. A lady could potentially come in and be a solid friend. You could be an associates at work. Then I have opposite the Moon in the 5th, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Fox. Now, in Mercury in the 11th is very kind of shocking news, but like more out of this world kind of news. It's somebody who's quirky and zany. Quirky and zany and has like, you know, a very interesting way of speaking. It's also somebody who has a very interesting and unique voice as well. It's and that could be very well be this hidden talent that you've been keeping, that you're very good with lyrics or song or singing or some kind of instrument. You're in a band. There's something here that this lady is very smart. She's very intelligent. She may very well be somebody who has gone through many great changes in her life. She could be a performance artist, or she could be somebody who you could be reaching for some of the things that this lady seems to have around her, or looking up to her in some sort of way. She could be a role model for you, but she creates great change within you regardless. You might feel like there's a sacrifice of a lot of things. Maybe you moved or you're going to move in the year, and you and this lady have become close, and maybe she had, you know, she's been going through some changes, and somebody's going to help somebody out with things that they need. There might be gifts given or donated, or also a woman could die, and I don't see the Ten of Swords anywhere. I got the 9, but not the 10. So maybe take this with a grain of salt, but a woman's passing or some big change in her life could, and you could be watching this kind of happen. I don't know. She could be sacrificing something in her life, her belongings. The hangman is usually, we've done a naughty thing, right? And we get strapped up and we're in a timeout. The universe has put us in a timeout, or someone else in our life has put us in a timeout. It's punishment, right? So this woman changes a punishment. This woman changes some sort of behavior. I have the Five of Pentacles down here in the 5th. opposite of the Seven of Pentacles. So it's like feeling left out in the cold, but this pull to like wanting or desiring what other people have, shiny new things, and maybe you don't have what other people have. It's a comparing. So try not to compare yourself and what you have to your friends. Maybe if you move, especially, and you're in a new place right away, don't be comparing yourself to what other people have. You're on your own path, and sometimes when you start over anew, you just got to get recycled stuff and really kind of make things as cost effective as possible because it's just you might have lost a lot in the move, and you gotta it just takes time to replace everything. But I don't know, the Hangman and the Seven of Cups. Maybe it's like somebody's punishing themselves over what they think they could have, or they lost, or maybe they're feeling like held up in order to take care or of these desires that they have. So the Death card can also represent the energies of Pluto as well. And we have Pluto in the 9th house over here. This could be like, because you're changing your values or beliefs down here. This could be changing how you value or look at sex. There could be, you go to a new place and you have a lot of different opportunities, to, new people that might find you attractive, or that you find attractive, or, vice versa. And feeling like you're not able to attain something, or that not everything that glimmers is gold. So you're hesitant or sacrificing maybe a lot of the attention you could be giving to some other options in your life, or there's a sacrifice of the shiny thing. So you could be giving to charity. You could be experiencing some sort of like, work overload, not being able to focus on like those kinds of things in your life. This also could be talking. Sorry, give me 1 second. It's about that time I have another cup of coffee. There's communication here about nuance things, new friends, talking to new friends, talking about the future as well, and what you want for the future. You could be changing some kind of desire that you have for certain things in your life. Your values again. So we did talk about values changing, right? Yes, the answer is that you're going to be changing your values. The Death card's down here too. Bingo. Okay, so finally clicked. So you are changing your values, and you're sacrificing what you normally would want or normally be striving for, because you're changing how you feel about those things, or how much value you put in those things in your life. And you're communicating about the future. And you're maybe sacrificing for, and talking about this with friends, about the sacrifices that you're making. They might feel like you're just not spending any time with them, like you're evasive, you're hard to pin down. And you're just like, well, I have to create a change in my life. I have to move. I have to do something. I need to relocate, and this is what I have to do to be able to do that. And I can't go out and have coffee, and I can't go shopping at the mall all day, and I can't really do anything but work and save money for my life change here. This new adventure that I need to go on. in order to be a happy and healthy individual. So this is the way it is. And it seems like you'll be talking to a woman about this, or you yourself are a woman and are communicating with your friends about this. Okay, we're moving on. Sixth house. I didn't really talk about this. The fox. Yeah, I did. Smart lady. All right. All right, sun in the sixth. Three of Wands. The Three of Swords right after. Two of Cups. And the dog. You're going to meet a friend at work. Or you're going to be very loyal to your job. You might meet a good friend that turns into a lover at work. But it seems like they're already in a relationship. Because I have the Three of Swords and the Three of Wands. He's looking like he wants to add a fourth. So this guy might be a player. This girl might be a player. But the dog is here, so there's a loyalty, there's a faithfulness. You might be the one that's faithful, and so you're not able to understand why other people could do that or demonstrate that kind of behavior. This is also trusting your creative energy, what you're, and this is also the sun being in any house is lighting it up, right? It's looking at all the things that have been hiding in the dark for a real long time. And that can be kind of maybe a friend at work is in a relationship that's like a three-way party, whether she's doing the three-way partying or her lover's doing the three-way partying. And it causes some heartbreak for somebody. I mean, no judgments. I don't think that, people don't have to be monogamous. People don't have to be, but, people being honest is really important, I think. Also, your day-to-day routines. Sixth house is your day-to-day routines. It's also your pets. Somebody's getting a dog that they love, right? Or has a dog that they really love. They're heartbroken when you have to go to work. They might cry a lot, cause a lot of mischief, be waiting at the door when you come home all sad, finally super excited that you're back. But there's heartbreak here. I don't like that. Whose heartbreak is it? Could have to do with somebody you're in partnership with yeah. It's somebody that you're in business with, a partner, a coworker, that's maybe going through a breakup and looking for a place to stay as well. Or maybe they're going through a breakup and they offer you the ability to stay at their place, and that's where you're going. You're traveling and experiencing a new place. Or your dog's sitting for their dog, or their dog is sitting for your dog, and you're going to stay at their place, whatever. And it's exposing you to this new day-to-day routine, new places of work, new things. It's also the sixth house is also your health, so you're really kind of trusting your gut with your health. You're being faithful to and loyal to your body. It's creating harmony within you. But there's this heartbreak. Maybe maybe you went through a breakup, or you know, I'm not saying you are going to go through a breakup, but maybe you do or you don't, or you might meet somebody in this next year and then you break up, and for some reason you get a dog to help you heal your heart from a breakup while you look out at the what of the world. There's things that are brought into your life from a heartache. It could have to do with the loss of a job. It could have to do with a friend's relationship as well. Like maybe your friend starts dating somebody that you used to be with, and it causes a heartbreak, and then you look out into the world and see what else there is to experience. Maybe that's what catalyzes you in your day-to-day life to maybe start doing something else, maybe move somewhere else, find a new location. I do have the fox near the dog. There is a friend that is sneaky. So this very well could be the situation because the fox is near the dog. I do have the dog and then the rider. Those are positive cards, and it's sandwiched in by the stork. But it's opposite. What is it opposite of? Speaking of that. Saturn, restriction, being alone, the hermit, learning from your solitude, being the sage, the magus, the knight of pentacles, the moon, the knight of pentacles, and the house. Well, we'll start with Saturn. Saturn is the planet of restriction. Saturn in Pisces is actually a really, I'm pretty sure, I'm not exactly sure, but there's restriction. Saturn in Pisces, I want to say, is the Hanged Man card. Okay? I'm not 100% sure. But I have, like, it gives me that, like, spiritual, like, to learn a lesson spiritually, and you are being restricted. So there's something that might be kind of, it's also, Pisces is also the dream. So there's constructive dreaming here. There's using your imagination to visualize and maybe hopefully manifest in the tangible reality. So there's that. Then there's this moon card, which is the secrets card coming to the surface. You're going in with the hermit card. You're restricted from experiencing things. Maybe that's because your subconscious mind is actually like causing you roadblocks from something prior, some prior trauma. But for some reason, you're spiritually secluding yourself, or you're secluding your energy, and you're looking at the details of your inner soul, right? You're focusing on your insides, how you feel, your awareness, your connection to the divine, the details of you and the divine, and those two things solely. Okay? But the moon is like secret knowledge as well. So there is some sort of like secrets that are coming up within the subconscious mind, and you're kind of having to analyze what's coming up. It's like it could be that you're loving psychology right now as well, because Venus and the moon in the eighth house. Maybe you start really looking into and researching the psyche. You're really looking into why you operate the way you do, because your values have changed, and you're noticing things about yourself you never have before. There's like key points that are coming up that are teaching you more about other people from your own experiences. So you're doing the hard lessons and the hard work yourself, and you're leaving the door open for other people who have experienced those things or are going through those things to come in, but you're not actively searching, or maybe you are looking for friends in a new space in 2023, and you're kind of here dangling like, hey, but I don't know which one of you is going to be good, so I'll just kind of chill out and take my time. But there's something, you know, the house in the 12th house, the card, the house in the 12th house, is like the deep crust, the most deepest, darkest personal parts of our subconscious mind. It's the place in dreams, like when you dream of a house, you end up going into this weird house all the time in your dreams. It's you going through like parts of your subconscious mind, right? That's what they say anyway. So the Knight of Pentacles is taking things slow, is a methodical approach, is the tortoise in the hare, right? He's the tortoise. He's not afraid of winning any races. This is not a race. I'm going at my own pace. I'm trying to figure out what spiritually is calling to me, or what these spiritual secrets mean for me, what my subconscious mind is trying to tell me. So you're taking your time to analyze the deepest recesses of your mind during this year, and any secrets that you have or your subconscious has. You are going to be analyzing those and figuring out what exactly they are under. Through shining a light within yourself, you're going to figure out other people as well. And you might figure out some other health issues that you have too, because it's whatever's been restricting you, you're learning that there might be a reason in there. There might be some secrets hidden in there that you didn't realize you were kind of clobbering up inside all this time. So restricted research, this is also kind of setting up a system, right? Because Capricorn is like, the Saturn is like the hierarchical, the authority, the person who has the equation, right? There's a formula, and we stick to the formula, and this is how we do things because we get these results, so we build things this way. So there's like that kind of being a really acute mental analyst. The secrets of the psyche, and the slowly going back over things of the past or our subconscious mind. It's our family as well. So something personal is taking time, and you are kind of going deep and trudging up the ugly parts of it, maybe, in order to understand more about yourself. And Saturn is there kind of making sure that you have some kind of guidance, some kind of system to organize everything. And Virgo's really good at that as well. So it's very earthy and watery kind of combination. And maybe you're going to figure out why you tick and how you tick this year. You're going to be opening your eyes to new things. You're going to be pinpointing like what you're good at or what works good for you, getting rid of distractions. You'll be finding your inner compass, looking for the magic in things. Look for symbols and synchronicities that help really, you're going to have to figure it out what your gut's telling you, right? There's positive progress in movements within the home sector of the life or the family. There could be a baby coming in within the family as well. There might be somebody who's a little bit of a cheat and a pain in the ass that comes in here or there. I don't see it being a major problem for you because it seems like you're finding where you belong, right? You're getting a new shell, Cancer. Getting a new shell. You could have a new idea that's creative that you want to try to put out there in the world and maybe collaborate with somebody else, like passion project collaborate. And you're feeling like nobody really wants, it's not being taken well, or you're feeling pretty alone. Don't give up. Keep nurturing what you're working on. Keep trying to do it because maybe that's your ticket to meeting new friends in a new spot. I think that you'll just have to find those right people, and it might take some time, There's an intelligent woman that comes in that seems to be on the same page, who's gone through similar changes, and you might be able to help her out. She might be able to help you out with the changes you're going through, and you'll be able to talk to her. She'll be a good friend. There might be a job change as well. I do see maybe some interesting things within the work sector and love, so just be careful with that. Everything else looks very good. All right, Cancer. Have a very happy 2023. I will see you in January for your January readings. Take care.